Good morning, one and all, and welcome to my channel. I am Kathy, the Scrap and Crafty Gardener, though I've been known to be called Kathy, the Messy Crafter. Today we're going to make a pop-up easel card. This is one I had done the other day for the Craft Roulette Challenge. It's a flat card that pops up into an easel. And so I experimented a little bit more, and I went way overboard with this one. It's a pop-up, and I used a Cinderella stamp. And the saying, one shoe really can change your life, Cinderella. That's a little overboard, but today I'm going to use a mermaid theme. I'm going to be using a Colorful Life Design 6x6 stencil in the Mermaid Scales pattern. I'm going to be using this mermaid, the rock, and this saying, hope your day is a splash. These come from Darcie's Heart and Home, and it's the Oceans of Joy stamp set. Also need an oval die. I'm going to be using the layered dies from Want to Scrap. I'm going to use bits and pieces of this Spellbinders Fluted Classic Circle dies. A few parts from the Spellbinders Whale in a Bottle. And just the foliage from Spellbinders Dancin, Octopus and Friends. So let's get started. What I'm going to do first is show you how to score the card. And you need a 10-inch by 7-inch piece of cardstock. And I use I think this one's the Hammer Milk paper. I usually use the Nina Solar White, but this one was a little thicker. We're going to score it at 5 inches. Let's see if I can get that where you can see it. Whoops, go straight. Well, just wanted to go off there. Okay, and then I'm going to fold it over while it's still here in my platform. And score that down with my bone folder. Get that nice and creased. Then I'm going to open it back up and score it at the 2 1/2 inch mark. Now this one I'm going to fold, oh no, inwards. I almost had it wrong there. I guess we could have gone the other way. It would have just been kind of strange. And crease that down. And that will make our part of our easel card. Now I can set the scoreboard aside because we don't need that any longer. Now we do need, for the backing, we need a piece, and I'm using pale green. This will measure 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and I need 2 pieces of this. One we're going to put inside the card, and one will be on the front of the card. To make the front of the card, you need another piece of white that is 5 by 7 inches. You need it the exact same size of your card, because that is what's going to be going up here. This is not that piece, but I'll have that. Also need some scraps of white, because I'm going to be making 3 of these oval dies. I'm going to be cutting 3 of those out. And I'm going to be using this size here. Set that aside. Also need a piece of gold cardstock. This is what I'm using. It's the Spellbinders Mirror Gold. You also need a piece of acetate. That's the same size as your circle. And some scraps of white. And I will get those all together and be right back. I have all of the pieces ready to go, and I have my die cuts done. Now the first thing I'm going to do is take this green piece that's going to go on top of the 5 by 7 piece that's going to go on our card front. So let's glue those together real quick. I didn't have to flip that over. They're both the same on each side, but I did. So we'll go with it. And that will just go centered on here. And then we're going to glue that to the front of the card, but only the bottom portion. So on this part, we'll take our glue out of the way for a moment. And I'm going to lay this down so it's centered on the card, so that when the card is closed, you will only see the one front. I glue off my finger there. There, now it's only glued to the front, and that's what's going to make your pop up. Now we're going to take this other piece of green, and I found some washi tape that I had that I didn't realize I had. It's kind of gold and looks like mermaid scales, so I'm going to place that just on the bottom of this piece of green. Make it a little longer so I can wrap it around the back. And this is going to get glued down to the inside. Just gives it a little sparkle. I like sparkly, what can I say? So that when it's open, you'll see that. Now we're going to start on coloring and stenciling and making our card together. I did cut out 3 pieces. One piece of the gold, a piece of acetate, and a piece of white. And that's going to make like a porthole on the card. And I used the Spellbinders Fluted Classic circles for that. Now I used the outside one and the inner embossing stencil, but I didn't use the next size down. I went with a 3rd size. That gives me a little bit more of a gold edge here, because if I would have went with the next size down, it would have been right up near those dots, and I didn't want that, so that's how I did that. The acetate I just cut with the outer circle. And these are going to go together like that. So get out a piece of scratch paper. And we're going to start. I'm going to make this look like a sea background. And I'm going to be using Ranger Adirondack Earth Tones in Stone Washed and Ranger's Distress Oxide in Tumbled Glass. And I'm going to start with a tumbled glass because it's a lighter color. And I just, whoop, oh dear, got it on my acetate. Let's see if I can clean that off. I wasn't very good about watching what I was doing there. Not that it would matter, I just don't know how it would stick to the acetate. We'll set that off to the side. This is showing you what not to do. I'll make the mistakes and you can make your card better without as many errors. And I'm just kind of putting it on here and there. Excuse me. I've had a chronic cough ever since I got over the wonderful virus. It's just something I have to put up with for a while. Now I'm going to do the stone wash. This is a little bit darker color, but not too dark. And I'm just going to kind of fill in, trying to make it look like an ocean. So I'll get some going sideways. A lot of these spots will be covered by vegetation and the whale. So just like that. Now, I had cut out the whale because I want him to appear in this circle. And I cut him out and I made sure that he does fit. So now we're going to put him together. And for that, I'm going to use my art glitter glue today. I think this is the most adorable whale. And that just goes on top of here. Just like that. Now he also has a tail fin, but I'm not going to put that on until I put him down onto the card. And I kind of want him centered here. And then, well, let's move him down a little bit. His tail won't show if I put him that far up. So part of the tail will be inside the circle and the other part of the tail will be showing. If I twist it like that, there we go. And he also has another fin that I'm going to stick under him here. And I'm just going to use this stamp block just to kind of hold them down for just a second. Before I get too much more on here, I'm going to use my stamp block and I'm going to chance it that I can get this message. This message is from that stamp kit and it says, hope your day is a splash. Let's see if I can get that one straight. I'm going to ink that up with my Gina K Designs Black Onyx. And here goes hoping that I can get this right the first time. Aha! I did it! I usually tend to drop it right back down on so it ruins it. Now I did cut out some of this greenery from the whale and the dancing octopus. I'm just going to see where I want to put them here. I cut them out of this color green, but then I added some, I think this was grass green from Gina K, and I'm just going to put it here and there. Let's see. Put that, yeah, like that. And that should be good. So now we'll glue these down. I'm trying to stay on camera, I apologize. So it makes it look like he's swimming through the seaweeds. I also cut out those starfish, but I don't think I'm going to use them right now. I also have some of these splash marks that I thought I'd put up here. So let's see, we'll put... I'll just put them here and there, just to give a little bit more life to this. Put one here. I think 3 look good. I don't think I want to go overboard with that. Now, I'll just set those die cuts off to the side for a moment. We're going to put the acetate on top. Make sure it's nice and clean here. And for that, I'm going to use a tape runner because I don't want to get glue down on the acetate. Just here or there. And now for the gold top. Now this one I am going to use the Gina, it's not my Gina K glue. This one's my art glitter glue. My Gina K is in another bottle and I need to refill that. So I take turns. Slightly compulsive about that. I use one until it needs refilled and then I go on to the next one. And this will go on here. Just like that. And I'm going to get my large block. Oh, I don't see my large block, so I'll just put my stamping platform on it while it dries. Oh dear, that didn't work. Oh, goodness gracious me, oh my. Got the glue where I definitely didn't want it. I told you, Kathy, the messy crafter. But this still will come out all right. So I need to put some more glue on that. Try this again. What I wanted was to use some scratch paper, which that was attached to. So I'll just get another piece. Because now we're going to stencil that inside white piece that is going to go here. And I'm going to be using the Mermaid stencil. And I have some masking tape. It's not masking tape, but it's made for masking of cards and things like that. And I'm just going to put that down just to kind of hold it in place while I scrub-a-dub-dub with my ink pads. I want it to come off a little bit. There we go. And to protect the other side of the card. Now I'm going to be using 4 different colors for the Mermaid scales here. All Gina K colors. I'm going to use my lightest color is Ocean Mist. And I'm just going to put that down lightly. Okay. Now, the next darker blue color, it's kind of a blue-green, is Turquoise Sea. And I'm just going to put it random locations. I'm not going to cover the whole thing with it. Now, to go to the green colors, I'm starting off with Light Spruce. And that I kind of want to hit and miss areas. And then the next darker color is Grass Green. And I'm going to put some splotches of the Grass Green and then just kind of mellow it out. And that's what it looks like here so far. Now I need to move this over and line up so that I don't go over areas that I have already gone over. And we'll go back to the same color combos. And I'll start off with my light, the Ocean Mist, then the Turquoise Sea, okay, now the Light Spruce, ooh, how dare you, and finally the Grass Green. And let's see how that looks now. There. Now, okay, I'm going to stamp the mermaid where I want her. But this is going to go, if it'll ever dry. Got a little bit over, and that's okay. I can trim that off because no one's going to see the back. They're only going to see the front of this. Okay, and this will go here. You know, I think I want to take this, the turquoise sea, or this grass green, and I'm just going to hit up the edges of this a little bit, just to give a little definition. Needs a little something, something. Yeah, that's what it needed. Now we can affix this to the back, or the front, right here. Excuse me again. Come on, buddy. Oh well, let's try my other. It's because I left the cap off. This works just as well. I just prefer the Tombow for the larger size bottle. And that will go down in the center here. And now this, I'm going to pop this up just the littlest bit. And I have these thin foam strips. And they work great for going around curved surfaces, because you can angle them. These I got on Amazon, fairly inexpensive. I don't like to spend a lot of money on this. Well, not to say I don't like to spend money, but for something like this that works just as well, I will get a more inexpensive item. And go to there, just a little piece here. Okay, we're going to place him just like that. I'm going to get to the mermaid, but I want to do the inside pieces so you can kind of see how we're going in the progress. 3 of these circles, I'm going to glue them together. Line them up. And they're not going straight, so I envy these other YouTubers that I see who can glue things together and they're perfectly straight. If any of you are out there like me, don't worry about it. A pair of scissors can fix just about anything. And I'm going to take this happy birthday and glue down to the center of that. This is from just a generic die I got on Amazon. It has the birthday this direction, then it has it also going up and down. So if you wanted it on the side of a card instead of at the top or the bottom. this I cut out in the light green, and then I also used the grass green to darken it up. Oh, goodness gracious, definitely messy crafter day today. Let's set those off to the side. Okay, and then I'm going to take some foam tape, and I have this giant roll here. Put 2 strips on the back. This is what's going to make it into the easel card. This gives a little shelf for the top of the card to lean on, as I'll show you in just a moment here. Peel the backing off this. Now, figure out where in here you're going to want this to be, and I think I'm going to want it to be right there so that the card will lean like that. Just like that. Now, we've got to stamp and color the mermaid, and I'll be right back. Hey, I am back. I have cut her out, stamped her with Gina K Black Onyx. I let her dry, and then I fussy cut her out, and I had done another one that I was playing with some colors to come up with. I'm going to be using for her hair, I'm going to be using my Ohuhu markers. For her hair, I am using YR 593 Jurassic Gold. I wanted her to kind of have like a deep yellow hair and not their traditional bright orange hair that the earlier Mermaid had. You could even do this in the colors of the new Mermaid. That movie was wonderful, and she was gorgeous. You can do this any colors you want. I was even thinking earlier when I was cutting her out that this card that I'm making could actually be for an adult if I had like a more adult version of a mermaid versus this child's version. So I want to see what I can come up with. Maybe I'll find something at the rubber stamping convention in April. Anyone else out there going? It's at the Adventures in Stamping. It's the last weekend in April. I want to say it's the 27th and the 28th. It's at the John Knight Convention Center. My sister, friend, and I go every year, and that's where I get a lot of my supplies, other than garage sales and yard sales. The longest part took fussy cutting her out. If I had thought, I would have made a mask of this and then put the mask on the card in this corner where I'm going to put her before I had put the mermaid scales down, and then it wouldn't, I wouldn't have had to fussy cut. And I absolutely hate fussy cutting. I got one of the Brothers scan and cut machines. However, it's turned into a really expensive paperweight that I've regretted purchasing. I got it to work one time, and that was it. I kind of needed an in-person class somewhere on how to use this. I guess I'm just so familiar with using my Cricut that any new software related to that just doesn't enter my head correctly. Would love to get it to work. The mats, however, are extremely expensive. I think I had the one mat. I tried it on one project, then it broke. So I got another mat, and my scanner won't read it now. So now I have to figure out what the problem with that is. I tried watching some YouTube videos on how to use the scan and cut, but they were way over my head. I need a very, very, very basic beginner's class on that. I consider myself to be quite computer literate, but that has just gone above me. Now, for her skin color, I'm using E494 Pastel Peach. You can use any skin color out there that you would desire for our little mermaid here. And I'm not going to do a lot of fancy shading, but I am going to add some more sparkle to this card. Anyone who know me would know that that's a given. All right, now, oh, I gotta do her hands. Having a little bit of smearing with my black. I guess I did not let my stamped image dry long enough. I use a Gina K ink for this all the time. I used to use StazOn, but I prefer Gina K's. It just takes longer to dry if you want to use it with alcohol inks. If I'd have got out my heat tool, that might have worked. Okay, and now for her outfit, I'm going to be using blues and greens. I'm going to be using G191 turquoise blue and G382 pond green. And we will start here and do every other one in blue. I hope you don't get too bored watching me color. I use the free program on my iPad called iMovie to record these, and I haven't figured out how to speed things up. Maybe I need a different program. But this works so far for me. It's just, this channel is just meant to record what I'm doing, thoughts in my head about card making, trying to get that out onto paper, and just having a little bit of fun. I have 4 subscribers, so that's pretty darn awesome, I think. And I'm just having fun, and I hope everybody else does too. Just get your stuff out and play. As you see, I make a lot of mistakes, make a lot of messes, but it is so darned fun. And it's just a little bit of ink, glue, paper. If you mess up, start over. Or I've had some projects where I just gave up and threw it away because I was stymied. There was just no saving it. Maybe one of these days I'll save some of those projects for you so you can see that we all have problems sometimes, and we just lose our creative mojo. But I'm trying to get into having mojo all the time, which isn't going to work. Now I am going to use a little bit of the green down here on her tail just to follow those dots. Okay, and she is done, except for the pearl in her center, which we will do that. Now I've cut out this rock, which also came with this die set, that I am going to color for her to sit on, but I can't remember. All right, I want to go with the lighter color. This is Y585 Yellow Ochre, and I'm just going to color the rock with it. Just scribble away. Okay, and I think I will use this Y764 Olive Yellow, which seems like a strange name, and I'm just gonna go along some of the creases and crags in the rock. Okay, and that's that. So now I'm going to put a little bit of foam tape, and I'm just going to use the thin foam tape on the back of that. just at the bottom here. And then a piece there. Now I'm going to sit her on this rock. So that's what I have to figure out where I want her to be. Yeah, I think that's how it'll do. So we'll put this on the card, and I want this rock to line up with the bottom of the green on the front of the card. Let's see, right about there. So I think if I would have even just leave off the mermaid and put some sequins or stars or something on here to make it more of an adult card. So I'm just going to run a thin line of glue on her posterior surface and a little bit of her tail. The rest of her is going to be popped up, but I want her to be a little higher than the rock. So let's use these. I think I got these when I belonged to the Spellbinders Card Kit of the Month Club. I wish they hadn't gotten rid of that. I really enjoyed it. Other than the card size. I used the stuff that came in the card and made 5x7 cards. And then I used the actual card bases that came with the kit for a group that I go to once a month. My friends and I teach some intellectually and physically challenged people about card making. So I use the cards for them. There. Okay, now it still needs a little something something, and I got those splotches on her face, but now I'm going to use my wonderful, my favorite thing, diamond stickles. Just want to put a little bit of this on my glass mat here. And I have a brush that I only use for stickles. It's got sparkles in it, and I never wash it, so it has like a very short, stubby, but now they're all glued together. And I'm just going to take this and have an occasional one of these mermaid scales be glittery. Not all of them, just one here or there. Now maybe I need to put it on the, and this bottle's getting well loved and used, and it's almost used up. I'm thinking one here, and we'll do one up here. One right there. One here by her. And then I think this one over here. And that one right there. Not too much, but just enough to add it to my liking. Now for that little pearl on her chest there, I want to use my enamel accents from Ranger. I haven't used these in a project, so I want to try it. I think it'll give it a little bit of a shine without actually being a pearl on there, so that'll just need to dry. And that is it. This card is complete. You see, when you turn it around, you just have the white. And that's why we folded it in half. But I hope this inspires you. That craft roulette challenge of making an easel card really got me going on this, because I had truthfully never made an easel card before. I need to experiment more with different styles of cards. That is it. Thank you. I'll take some close-up photographs of this. And I hope this inspired you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Good night.